Welcome to In the News with Double O Des. I'm Des Bernardo, giving you my perspective on news from South Africa and the rest of the world.
In the news now, I want to cover an article from Business Tech, and this article headline is quite disturbing. And in this headline, it reads that Ramaphosa says South Africa should use the coronavirus pandemic to strengthen BEE. Now, just a very mention of BEE is against my principles and my beliefs. So it's actually quite painful for me to work through an article like this, because all our president is doing what these New World Order organizations are telling, and stooges and puppet masters are telling him to do, and that is to divide the nation. And he's been doing a very good job of that since he came into office, and many of his predecessors did exactly the same. President Cyril Ramaphosa says that South African Black economic empowerment BEE regulation should be enhanced as part of a push to build a more inclusive economy in the wake of the country's coronavirus crisis. Now, if he understood, well, he probably does understand that this economy, if he cared for us as a president, understood that this economy is actually used to oppress all people and divide people and make people more impoverished and make them struggle more, then, he will be able to help us if he gets that understanding or tries to portray that understanding. But we know that he's been appointed to his position to ruin us financially, and this is exactly what he set out to do. The conquer and divide tactic is very strong in this president, and this article just proves my point. The fact that we have to speak about color again is sickening, but it is there for all to see, and he is exposing our nation to his racial bigotry, and it's not something that I can support at all. All of us are people, we have names, and that's where it should end. And that's why I support the removal of all racial classifications in all documentations, including ID books, anything else. It shouldn't exist at all. And that should be a good starting point for us as a country. So he says in a virtual parliament on Thursday, 18th of June, Ramaphosa was asked by the Freedom Front Plus leader Pieter Groenewald how he plans to use the golden opportunity of the coronavirus to restructure the economy. Now, it's interesting that Pieter Groenewald will be talking about restructuring an economy that is non-existent, that is run by the Rothschilds and their ideology, the New World Order ideology. And it's really, really difficult to understand what purpose this question actually serves. So I would like to ask Pieter Groenewald, what is your purpose in asking this question? Once you start talking New World Order ideology, then we can speak together. And until that day, you're just part of the same clique and gang, I'm sorry to say. In response, the president noted that while the coronavirus provides an opportunity to restructure parts of the economy, other measures need to remain in place and be strengthened, including black economic empowerment. Now, the day that word doesn't have to be used anymore in South Africa is the day that the New World Order influence is gone from our shores, and the sooner the better. This is why we need a new governance system and throw out this gemors, this rubbish that the British government has imposed on us. And remember, if you watch my older videos for the new subscribers, you'll be able to see in the Question Everything series exactly what I mean by that. I have experienced this firsthand. We need to ensure that, Black South Africans who were under apartheid and colonial rule, excluded from playing an important role in the economy of their own country, be given their rightful position of playing an important role in the economy of the country. For anyone to play an important role in the economy of the country, it goes without saying. And if you have a righteous government and a government that believes in love and encourages love and support in communities and from businesses, this will naturally happen. Naturally happen. Why does it not happen? And this is the question that you need to ask yourself. Why aren't people flooding into areas trying to assist people and uplift them and help them without spending a cent of your taxpayers' money? And the reason is simple: division. And division is sown deliberately by the New World Order agencies to create circumstances like this, where they pay lip service to something that means absolutely nothing. And all you have to do is look at our transition to democracy to see what has been achieved since then. I always have this simple thing. I like facts. What has it done for us this far? How has it worked for us this far? And if anyone says, no, we should just elect the right party, they don't know what they're talking about, because that's not going to help us. Okay? At all. As I've proven before, in the Question Everything series of videos, if you look at part 5a and part 5b and part 6, I make clear why we need a new system and why we need to hold our public representatives accountable as individuals. And I would like you to subscribe to the channel to get future videos like this, to get my perspective on history and the future with regards to our government and what they are doing to us. The fact that Cyril Ramaphosa has been put there to destroy your life, to destroy my life. And he is doing a sterling job. He said our economy is damaged because it is not utilizing all of its resources. It's like we have a vehicle with 12 cylinders, but we have forever and a day been operating on 4 cylinders. Well, I have news for you, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. The people want opportunity. It's not the government's job to create jobs. You shouldn't have to have jobs to survive. You need land and water to grow food and drink water to survive. That's what you need. And you've taken that from the people. We have had no government that has given us that freedom and right to actually own our own land within this country. Many people from all backgrounds and racial groups are excluded from the property market. Millions of people are excluded from that market because you are perpetuating a New World Order system that will give people nothing, that will only enrich massive global corporations and South African families and corporations that are empowered by those global corporations and families to enslave us. And you know this very well. You were once a slave, but then you were offered a very nice offering from the global elite that controls South African families, and you took the bait. That is why you are willing to sell us all out now. Ramaphosa said that the only way this can be fixed is by bringing black South Africans into the mainstream of the economy. What economy? That serves who? You don't know what you're talking about, President Cyril Ramaphosa. You can't really call him a president because a president needs to be able to be humble enough to actually lead and guide the people of the country. He certainly is not capable of that. Because they were deliberately excluded through laws, through policies, he goes to the past again. Conventions and practices, we've got to ensure that we implement the provisions of our Constitution. Yes, like during this lockdown, you're very good at providing for our constitutional rights, aren't you? And I'm being really sarcastic now. Peter Groenewald carried on and said that he should have presented solutions to address the imbalance and that South Africans have been patient for a very long time. And then said if we don't change, it is those who have been excluded from the economy who are going to respond, and then all could be lost. This is what Ramaphosa said in response to him. So he is threatening. Ramaphosa is threatening and saying, even although his economy that he's created is causing people to be impoverished, he's threatening that those people will start taking action. He's causing the threat, not the person on the ground. He is threatening. Do you see what he's doing? How he is sowing division? And this is the main purpose of me covering this article, is to prove to you how this New World Order stooge that's been appointed and been puppet mastered as the president of our country, how he is going into the past when it suits him, but he won't go into the future where he used these same capitalist, elitist people that control our country to enrich himself and his family and his political party. He says, what I would have wanted to hear from the Honourable Groenewald and those of his ilk is to come forward and say, like many others are doing, we realize that we have a historic problem. Apartheid excluded the majority of South Africans. This is what we should do. This is not the discussion to have. This is not helping any group in this country. What we need is a new government that excludes race, takes race out of the equation completely, and comes up with a new system that is parallel to this oppressive New World Order economic system that excludes millions of people in this country from all race groups. You are all being fooled. I'm being fooled. My family is being fooled. Because we empower them. We buy from them. We support them. And in future, I will love to help to show you how to start researching who you buy from, who you're funding, because you are enabling everything that they want. I'm enabling everything that they want. I've stopped doing that as far as I can. My kids don't walk around with cell phones that advertise all the goodies that make them rich. I don't have a television in my house that gives me all the advertising to lure me into buying something to enrich them so that they can enslave me further. So I've taken many actions to make myself as independent from them as I can. And I will do more videos on that in future. But here is our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, sowing division in the nation. The fact that he mentions race is sickening. It really is sickening. It's unnecessary. We cannot move forward like this. It needs to be stopped immediately. And anyone that does this is not helping our cause. They are working for the New World Order ideology. And the sooner we stop this, the better. And when we do that, will we start to see progress? We will start to see South Africa becoming more independent as a country, which makes us more sovereign. These companies that we fund, me and you, when we go to the shop and buy cars, etc., these companies that we fund will be disempowered if we disempower them. But that will take information and knowledge, and that's why I want you to share this video. Ask your friends to subscribe to the channel, invite them, share the content, speak to them about what we are trying to do. The awakening needs to happen across the country, across all spectrums of people. I want everyone to be here with me to fight this fight together. Now he talks about changes that is coming, and he goes into a whole lot of figures. And as you know, I will put the link to this article in the description to this video. And they are going to come with regulations, more regulations that's going to divide people, marginalize people, put people into poverty that before could work. They're going to force businesses into positions where they have to make decisions for money, not for humanity. And that is the difference. It's a big difference. And I want you to oppose this president with everything you have. What he's doing is evil. And it needs to be stopped at all costs. Till the next video.